What's up, everyone? This is Cameron Mahaffey with Underworld Explorers. Today, we're at Telford Spring. This is a really cool cave. It's right off the Swanee River. It is owned by Swanee River Water Management or something like that. What we have to do today is we have to go up the river, or we have to. There's a boat ramp just down the river. We have to get on the boat ramp and then crawl up the river, up the side of the river, since this is a navigable waterway up and down the spring. Once we get to the spring, we can dive it and all that. They do allow people to come here, and just no diving is allowed off the property. Anyway, I'm super excited. We're gonna go up this cave. We're gonna go about 2,000 feet in and check all the cool stuff here. It's real dynamic. It changes a lot. So you'll get in. It has rooms at first, and then we get some fissures and some bedding planes, and we'll go through those, 2 or 3 of those, and we hit what they call the roll aids. It's like a big breakdown pile. We'll go in and out of that. Such a cool cave. I really love doing the breakdown stuff. All right, guys, let's get started. Let's go. All right, so this is just a little hole right here. The cave entrance is right there, so it connects beyond this land bridge right here, and this is where you're going to see the spring boil. You can kind of see it right there boiling, right? Anyway, so we're going to go up the run, enter the cave right there. We'll probably see us. Steve might see us. He's going to play surface support today. Steve might see us right here going in. But yeah, that's Telford. The boat ramp's just up there. We're going to crawl up the river on the bottom right here and then make our way to the confluence. Check it out. This is where the 2 different waters mix. I think it's super cool. We'll walk out to this so y'all can see it. Right there. Check that mix out, guys. Isn't that super cool? You have the spring run over there that makes its way and it mixes in with the river right here. But yeah, so we're going to do that, and then when we get back, it's actually easy. So we're going to come out of the spring run, and then the river flows this way. So we're going to get in the river and just kind of float our way down to the river. We're just going to float our way down to the river. So I'm excited to do this cave. I hadn't been here for, I don't know, like 4+ years now. It's actually a really cool cave, so I don't know what I've been waiting on, right? I've been missing out. All right, we got all our gear on. Let's crawl up this river, man. Y'all wish us luck. Hopefully we don't pass the freaking spring. That would be the worst thing ever, right? Anyway, guys, let's go. Let's do this. What's up, everyone? This is Cameron with another wonderful episode of Underworld Explorers. Today, we are going to do Telford Springs. This is a really cool cave. The cave is like super fissure driven, so it's got a bunch of fissures. It's got some bedding planes in here, and then it changes after about 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet or so. It turns into what they call the roll aid, so it's more like a craggly breakdown. It's really cool. So right now we have to crawl up the river. It's a pain in the butt. Too bad we don't have land access here. But this is a spring run. Right now you see me. I'm not kicking that fast. This is done in like 700%, so like times 7. We had to do that because there was like an hour of footage. This was a really long dive. Anyway, as I'm kicking in and with the primary line, Steven's on the surface on the property recording us. That's why you're getting that shot right there. But there we go. I'm just tying in the primary line right now. So we need this line, so if we're exiting, if we lose visibility or something happens, we have a line where we can directly ascend to the surface. And that's right there. You can ascend out that little hole right there. So I do my secondary tie off right here, going into the cave, and then we're going to find the primary line. The primary line here is gold line, so it's pretty nice. The side passages are just regular cave line, like the white stuff you see on my reel right there. We gotta point the bolt snap the correct direction this time. It faces towards the exit of the cave. And then I decide to drop my oxygen tank on our line right now. And then Jacob decides to drop his too. So I got Jacob to do it this time, guys. He turned his lights off. I had to threaten him, but he turned his lights off, and we got the shot I really wanted. It's just really cool, I think. You see how, like, me in front, like, I'm blacked out. You can't really see me. You just see the passage in front of me, and then you see blackness behind me. I think that's such a unique shot. but right now we're just in regular speed. Eventually here shortly in a minute I'm going to speed it up again. I just wanted to really admire this whatever you want to call it, this look that we're doing, and then I'll speed it up. Eventually, if you look at the passage right now, it's kind of big. It's I don't know, it's probably what, 6 or 7 feet tall. The passage is probably 20, 30 feet wide right here. But we're just following the gold line. We're going into cave. Right now we're probably about 100 feet in. Not very far. Maybe a little more. This little pillar's pretty cool. See, it comes down and makes like a heart shape on the other way. So the heart shape is really cool. Man, I just love this look. This is so cool. I wish we could do the whole video like this. But eventually we do need some more light so you can see some more of the cave. I would like to, in every episode in the future from here, to do this for some, like maybe in the larger passages or something like that. Should give you 2 different views. So right now the cave's turning a little bit, which is no big deal. We are making our way. We're almost to the first sinkhole, I think. When we get to this first sinkhole, you'll see something really funny that happened. I think it scared both of us. So, anyway, yeah, we're look how the bedding plane, like, see, it's kind of like pinching down right now. But yeah, as we keep going in, you're going to see a passage on the right. It's kind of like a bypass. I hope you see it. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but it bypasses the sinkhole we're going to run into, and it just goes to like a little side passage that pops back around on the main passage. There we go. We're speeding it up now. Alright, so this is 700%, so we're times 7 faster than what we're normally doing. So yeah, you start seeing organics and stuff. That means we're getting close to an entrance. So I turn off the light, and right now you're just seeing the glow from the sunlight through the sinkhole. If you look up at the very corner when Jacob points the camera up, you're going to see some kind of figure there. And you might see me wave at this figure, because we eventually, at the end of the dive, saw this lady. She was waiting for us at the surface. She said we scared her to death. She was not expecting a couple of cave divers to come underneath this sinkhole. There's me waving right there. And then you're going to see it. Turn the light back on to make sure she can see us. And then the camera's going to point up. And I'm going to zoom into her a little bit. There you go. She's standing. What in the world was that? She told us after the dive that she was going to go into the cave and do some little free diving down. So you got to be careful, guys, when you're free diving in overhead environments, because you only get one breath and then you have to get out of the cave. So there's a lot of potential that can go wrong there. So it's always smart not to free dive in overhead environments, but people are going to do it either way. So, but there we go. We're doing that light off again. Eventually, I'm going to tell Jacob to turn his lights on so we can light up the rest of the passage. This is a unique shot, but I don't think it's a shot that is going to be good for the whole dive. But anyway, here we go. So we're speeding it up 7 times faster than what we normally kick. And then this cave, look how big it's getting. It's really cool. So we're not in the fissures yet. We're still coming down from that sinkhole. We're probably another 100 feet past that sinkhole now. Total distance from the original entrance is probably 200-300 feet, maybe 400 feet. It's not very far. So imagine if I made y'all watch this whole video at regular speed. I think it's kind of cool, but oh, there's the second sinkhole right there. So we're just going to jump forward a little bit, get through these fissures. The fissures are really cool. They're like an upside down T. So they're about to start shortly, I think. This is more of like a phreatic passage. almost there. This cave has a really unique story. So I think Shek actually, there's a couple stories I believe. So I might get this wrong. Maybe some of the old timers can correct me. Oh, right here before I forget, we're in the first fissure right now. So you see how it kind of like opens up at the bottom, and then at the top it's just a long, straight, narrow passage, vertical passage. Anyway, so Shek actually, there's two stories that I've been told. One was there's a diver that dove this cave, and he went missing. And then apparently some other people, other divers, cave divers, went looking for him, couldn't find him. And I think a couple weeks goes by or something like that. I hope I get most of this right. Anyway, a couple weeks goes by, and Shek actually's in there looking for him, and he finds this passage, like a little offshoot. Didn't really go nowhere, but he pokes up in there and he scares Shek actually half to death because he ran into a set of fins or something like that he was not expecting to see. So I think they had all thought that maybe he wasn't in the cave anymore. Anyway, and then the other story is, so the reason that the previous owners didn't allow cave diving from the property, from what I've been told, was Shek Hexley and maybe some other people were diving the cave, and like as we use our primary line, tie off from outside in open water so we can directly ascend to the surface, we go into the cave and tie into the main line of the cave. The reason to do that is so we can exit. But there was a swimmer, a young child that was swimming, and got caught up in the line and nearly drowned. And after the cave dive, when Shek Hexley and all these other guys come out, the dad of the child that almost drowned had a shotgun pointed at their face. So that's the story I've been told, and thankfully, he didn't shoot him. They hopefully come to some kind of understanding. But it is something we need to consider. We're running these lines on the outside, especially popular springs like Telford that a lot of people swim in. You don't want someone get caught up in your line, and that would just, especially if a child, that would be absolutely terrible. We just saw crayfish, so hopefully Tom sees it and lets us know what it is. I don't know. So this passage, or not this passage, this cave system is absolutely massive. It's not dived very often. There's so many more, like Madison, Jenny Springs, Little River, Peacock, all these caves I just listed, Manatee. They are all dived every day by multiple teams. It's, there's hundreds of dives that happen in these systems every day, or not every day, but every week. Telford does not dive that often. Like you might get lucky and get one team there a week, but it is an absolutely massive system. There's so much to do here. There's, I think, over almost 60,000 feet of passage, which is larger than every cave I had listed that's more popular. The problem is, it's just the visibility is not that good in this cave most of the time. We happen to catch it in a pretty good day. This is probably 50 to 60 feet of viz, bluish water, so we couldn't have asked for a better visibility day. Flow is actually pretty low too, I think. It wasn't too bad. I've had it way worse here. But yeah, I mean, so I think it's just because of visibility, and then like the going up the river, scooting up the river, finding a boat, kind of makes it a pain in the butt. That's why the divers don't really come here very often. I believe we've just made it through the last fissure, and this is where you call the like the roll aids area. I think it's that craggly, breakdown looking stuff. I love this type of cave. I remember my first time I dove it, and then like I think a week later I went to Tag, which is Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia, and it's like a dry caving event. We did this, I think it was 2019 or 2020 or something like that. It was my first time at this cave, and then we went to Tag. I enjoyed doing the breakdown in Tag so much because it reminded me of the breakdown in this cave. I think it's so unique and such a fun thing you don't really see in many of these caves. A lot of Florida caves are just like phreatic passages and stuff, and so this craggly breakdown looking stuff is pretty rare. It's pretty hard to find. Lower Orange Grove is a good example of it too. You get the Lower Orange Grove, when you go into the cavern, it's just a massive, all those rocks you see, That's just a massive breakdown pile that's like, you know, found its way into the cracks right there, where you have to go down and find the lower cave. But if it, like before all the breakdown happened, and which is, you know, probably thousands of years, there's no telling. It was just one large freaking room down there, so that's really cool. It definitely changes the how you dive the cave, right? Imagine this massive room that was probably easily connected to what they call the crypt and Peacock. That's actually kind of hard to find now. There's actually an interesting story about that. Frank McNamara was diving in the crypt, and he was trying to connect it to P3. So P3 is the siphon that's on the other side of Peacock. So he was trying to connect it to P3, and he's a little deeper. I think he's around like 190 feet deep or something like that. And he found another line. He ran into another line. He had thought he had connected into P3. He didn't actually survey it. And then years later, there's a group of divers that were diving in the crypt on the Peacock side. And I hope I don't get the story wrong, guys. Forgive me if I do. But one of them got lost in a silt out, and he found that line and followed the line, and he was probably the first traverse using that line, Frank McNamara's line, to escape and get out at Orange Grove. So he went through the lower Orange Grove passage from that line, and was the first person to ever do it. So it's pretty cool. So Frank, he did some amazing things. He not only did something that no one else has been capable of doing in forever, but it also saved someone's life. So I think that's super cool and unique, and I've never heard of anything like that happening before. But anyway, KUR went later on, took credit for the survey and started naming passages and stuff, but it's all good. We all know who explored it and all that good stuff. I guess it is a lesson there, you know. Did you really explore it if you didn't survey it? I don't know. I think you did, but a lot of people don't think you did, so I guess we'll see. Y'all argue that in the comment section. If you're exploring something and you don't survey it and take survey data, did you explore it or not? Let me know. We'll argue about it in the comments. I think you did. Some people, most people, I guess, explorers, don't think you did, so I guess we'll find out. At least I know I've been there. I don't care if I took survey or not. But anyway, we're making it through the roll aids right now. We're probably pretty far into the cave. That last section, we 7 times sped it up for about probably 20 minutes of diving time. We're 1,500 feet or so into the cave right now. So I like how Jacob's giving me some space, just to show you like the size of the passage and stuff. There we go. We're speeding it up again, so we're 7 times faster than what we were. I just love this cave. Just look at the breakdown and stuff. It's so cool. If you look right there, this connects under, so it's all just like a big undercut passage that you can get through if you want to be on the bottom. However, it makes more sense. It's always good to check the bottom of these things, but if you could be higher up in the passage and less depth, that's always better. But yeah, so look how big the cave's gotten there now. It's freaking massive. Turn my light back on. Actually, I think my light just died. Yeah, that's what it was. My light just died right there. So what it does when you get these lights, when they're almost dead, they'll power off. So I turned it back on, and then I had about a couple more minutes of battery life. So I was like, well, that kind of sucks. But we had made it plenty far in. We turned like 1,800 feet into the cave. I believe that's the 1,800 foot arrow. Maybe it's 17. We'll find out in a moment. Alright, so there's Jacob. He just wants to go further. I don't blame him. I do too. We gotta get more video lights so we can do longer dives. But here's, yeah, this is the 1,700 foot arrow. So we're at like 1,750 or something like that. Yeah, he's like, there we go. We're gonna turn around. So now we're gonna speed it up a little bit. All that silt that we're causing is just kind of following us, so it's all good. Oh, look, yeah, so Jacob went under, so that's pretty cool. I just never noticed that, so I checked, I turned around and checked. Oh, look at that fossil. I didn't stop it long enough so you could see it, but there's like a little sand dollar in the rock right there. It's pretty cool. I just love how this passage is undercut. I'd like to go back and check all the lower sections of this passage. Just maybe there's something someone missed. There's stuff people miss all the time in these caves, so you never know. That's why you always gotta be vigilant. Always gotta look for the new passages, guys. I promise you, no matter how often they're dived, you could always find a new passage. People miss stuff. Don't ever assume that just because people dive it often, someone didn't miss something. There's some more undercut that he's looking at right there. It's pretty cool. If you look, it's gonna start turning into the fissures again shortly. So we've turned around and we're on the way back out. The freaking lights are so heavy, these video lights, that look how far my trim is off right now. I'm having to compensate from it. That's a cool shot. I like the blacked out. It didn't last very long though. Here we are in the fissures again. So we're at the bottom, like I said, that upside down T. So if you can see it left and right, and then vertically you got this vertical that probably goes up 20 feet or so at least. Here you go. He's looking up. He's going up and stuff. Jacob's like a sneaky, slithery snake. He goes all over the place. He's very cool. He's very good at finding these little side passages that I miss. So, but yeah, so we're gonna kick through a little bit further, and we're eventually gonna run into that other sinkhole in a moment. I think we're gonna stop and do a little photo shoot there. Look at how tall that fissure. That fissure might go up more than 20 feet, to be honest. It's probably, that's every bit of 20 feet, probably 30, maybe 40 feet up. It's hard to tell. Maybe I'll go up there one day. And it's another thing, if you want to hide something from somebody in a cave, like a passage or something like that, put it up high. Our position in the water, we're always like, you know, in trim with the head maybe slightly down. So when you got stuff that's like hidden way up, you miss it all the time. So anytime you can see a hill or something that looks like it goes up, go up to the top of it and check it and see what's there. Oh, I forgot to mention. So Tom Morris, when I was going on the spill about how big the system is, Tom Morris found the connection to Lorville Sink. I know there's other people out there that claim it, but they absolutely did not do anything on finding that. So it was Tom Morris and Woody Jasper. So don't be fooled by this new generation of cave divers that are claiming they're the ones that made that connection. They're lying. Anyway, I'll get off my little soapbox. Alright, right now we're just exiting, so alright, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I will see you all on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. We're going by the sinkhole over there, and somebody was at the top. I was like waving at him.
It freaked me out. You guys freaked me out. Because I'm like, I dived that hole, and I was like, and I got so shook up I couldn't even dive it. I was like, oh man, just the thought of running into cave divers head on. I was like, oh shit.
Sorry.
I just like,
Didn't mean to scare you.
it's all right. I saw this light coming. I'm sitting there debating, am I going to get in this hole? Am I going to do it? You know, and I'm looking at how steep it is and figuring out if I could climb out of there. And then as I'm contemplating all this stuff, y'all start coming through. And I was like, holy crap, what if I'd have dove in
I told her it would be perfect footage if you'd have went down. And
wouldn't that have been weird? You would see my light from my GoPro, you know, because I have a big video light on my GoPro. And you would have seen my light, and I saw your little light coming. I saw one little round light coming. Yeah. And then I saw the bubbles, and I didn't realize the cave even went that way, the way you went. Because I always go the other way. I go just do a little circle around and come up to get the, you know, God rays.
Alright guys, I will see y'all at the boat ramp. Let's go. go slow down this river, man. It's super sketchy.
Don't get gator bit.
I'm trying not to. FB Medic. Thanks for being a member of the channel, liking, subscribing, and doing all the commenting you're doing, and the correction on why it's called Fluffy Bunny and who named it. Alright guys, I will see everyone else on the next one.